those smiling faces. No, no, tied to the races. Happy, come on, come on. Somebody happy now. I'll take you there. Happy, y'all. I'll take you there. Happy now. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there. Baby, take your piano now. All right. Daddy, daddy. All right, baby, little baby, need him in the house. Come on, little baby. All right. I'll take you there. Ain't nobody crying. I'll take you there. Ain't nobody worried. I'll take you there. No, I'll take you there. Lie to the rain. I'll take you there. Calling, mercy. I'll take you there. Mercy. I'll take you there. I'll take you there. Oh, I'll take you there. Oh, I wanna take that. Take it. Let me take you there. I'll take you there. Ain't no smiling faces. I'll take you there. I've been here. I'll take you there.
I'd like to take you there. There is a place, and we want to take you there. I am your co-host, Jamie Chris, and I'm here with Dr. Matthew L. Jones, the host of the show. Welcome.
It is indeed a blessing. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning, America. Good morning, wherever you are. We are delighted to come to you this morning because we know a place and we want to take you there. There's another song that Staples sang, "If You Are Ready." We want to take you there. There is a place. And this place that we are talking about is bringing the churches and the business together to lead the community to economic strength, ownership, business, individual business. We're going to talk about that later, but first, before I get into talking about that place we want to take you, I know you know that this is Lenten season. And so I must say a word about the Lenten season. As you know, at Concord, we're in this 40-day fast we were participating in, and we are challenging our parishioners to do a 5-minute meditation 3 times a day. 5 minutes meditation 3 times a day. Second thing we are challenging to do is to not eat after 7:30 at night. I want you to know that I stopped eating after 7:30, and I assured them that they would lose a pound a day. I stopped on Wednesday after 7:30, and I've already lost 8 pounds this week.
Well, maybe I will do it because that's my advice, Dr. Jones. I love to eat after 7:30. That's the only time I get a chance to eat at night.
So I am a witness. This has already happened, this fast. I said 1 pound a day, but you discovered that it might be even more pounds if you make this sacrifice. Wow. Number one thing is meditation 3 times a day. We say first time when you get up, noonday between 12:30 and 2, or in the evening, the last thing you do when you go to bed.
For 5 minutes, right?
Or for 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Understood.
And as I mentioned, the second thing is not eating after 7:30. And the third thing is to do one good thing each week. one good thing each week. This will lead
For
you
someone else or what? One good thing meaning
one good thing to help somebody, one
help
good
somebody.
favor, one good
Good gesture.
deed,
Yeah,
one
that's
good
good.
gesture.
Okay, I like that.
One a week. Now the reality is, you can, if you drive through Baltimore, you can do 15. If you just slow down, let somebody in. 1,000 opportunities God gives us each day to do a good deed.
I agree with
So
that.
we are challenged, just do one a week. Focus on at least on one good deed a week for these 40 days. And this will lead us to becoming a helper, and it also will lead us to be motivated to change our perspective and attitude in relation to other people.
I love that,
And
Dr.
that's what
Evans.
this Lenten season is about, to help us to do that. And we know that the meditation scripture that we have passed out for each day that you are to meditate on, and this fourth day, it is coming from the Gospel of Matthew, the 4th chapter, verses 1 through 3, where Jesus was led up by the Spirit up into the mountain to be tempted by the devil. And after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came to him and said to him, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. That's the meditation for this day,
Okay.
as you meditate on this day.
Thank you.
So this is also Women
History Month.
Month.
Let's be clear. Have
Women
to all
History
the
Month.
women. Woo-hoo. Okay. Yes.
And we have two great women here this morning that we're going to be
Absolutely.
talking with. But I want to just throw out some women that we're going to reflect on throughout the month. Great women that you may not have heard of, but others you may have. For instance, Margaret Lee Ingram and the Ingramettes. This is a woman that had great influence in the city of Richmond. She was called the Queen of Gospel in Richmond. And then you have Henrietta Doswell and the Jewel Gospel Singers. These are individuals that I was aware of, and some I had direct participation with and did special programs, and I know their ministry and I know the effect that they had on the community. Rosetta Thorpe. Some of you may be aware of Rosetta Thorpe. She was one of the
I was gonna say, refresh my mind. I know the name.
one of
but
the
tell me about
greatest
her.
guitar players. One of the greatest guitar players. They said she was considered the godmother of gospel and rock and roll.
Oh wow, gospel and rock and roll. Okay, so she's affiliated with music. I love it. Okay.
They said that only somebody that probably could play the guitar better than she could was Chuck Berry and B.B. King.
Oh well, that's tough. That means she was at the top of her game.
She was known across the world. We're going to talk a whole lot about her. Marian Anderson. Now you may have heard of that. You may have known her. She was a gospel singer, and we'll talk extensively about Marian Anderson. And of course, we know that you know Mahalia Jackson. So notice all of these women are related and associated with the church. And
I love it.
because we believe that the church has been the major source of our growth and our development, all of the experiences that we have encountered and overcome and come through. It has been done by the church.
Absolutely.
The church as the leader, and it's imperative that we take steps to draw our young people who are in businesses
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
our churches back together, because that's where the power is. This will make their businesses a lot easier to be developed and to grow if they utilize the power of the church. And that's what we are trying to get the young people to do. And we're going to talk about strategies by which we are going to be able to do that, but we don't have time to talk about that today
Because we got some
because
awesome
we have
guests.
somebody here who is already mighty in the business world. We have a young woman,
There we go.
Thank
That's
you very
it.
much.
That's right.
Paulette
Young
Richardson.
entrepreneur.
Mrs. Paulette
Miss Paula. Yes.
Richardson.
Miss Paula Richardson with the A on end. Miss Paula.
Paula, I'm
yes,
sorry.
Welcome.
Paula Richardson.
We'll just call her the boss because that's really what she is, the
She-
boss. So,
That
yeah.
works.
Demolition Man Construction. No job is too small. No job is too large for this woman to deal with. And we have her right here with us this morning.
So, Ms. Paula, can you recap everything Dr. Jones just said here for us?
My name is Paula Richardson, Demolition Man Contracting LLC and Demolition Woman Contracting LLC.
Okay.
All right.
All right, there we go. So
Yes.
it's both. Okay.
And you are type of things, but we know
What I do,
I'm acquainted with her because she has done some effective work right here at Concord.
yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, she has done some constructive work right here at Concord.
Big jobs.
And one thing that I want you to know that I'm going to say it right here publicly, we got many estimates, and her estimates was the best estimates of them all.
Of
So not
course.
only does she does a great job, but she does it so that you won't be robbed
Fair
in the
practices.
process.
Fair practices.
So that's why we
absolutely.
have her here today, because she wants to show you how she been working, how she got started, what she is doing, where she is now, and how you can contact her and utilize her services, and how she is ready to step in and tie in with the church and bring her great services, unifying businesses, minority businesses in the community and the church in the community.
You said it all.
I said it all.
Yes, you did.
Well, we want to hear from you too. So come on, Ms.
Thank
Paula,
you.
give us some more insight on your business.
Well, I started at Baltimore City Housing Authority, and my son was interested in doing demolition.
Okay.
And I met a guy there that actually did demolition. My son went to work with him. And my son came home and he said, "Ma, we took the whole third floor off the building." And I was like, "What?" In one day. I say, "What?" He said, "I got a check." And it said $300. And I said, "We're not going to be able to do that."
Right.
She's gonna mentor her son.
We're not going to be able to do that. So I checked into some things and I started, checking to the demolition. I
Uh-huh.
never did this before.
Okay.
I did human resources for 25 years. So I was like a people person. So I met a lot of people when I worked for the city.
Okay.
So I wanted to build something for my son, and
Mhm.
send him in a direction which wasn't done for me.
Understood. Yeah.
So I started the demolition company in 2012, and I left Baltimore City and just started full time, and it's been wonderful.
That
I've
is
met so many
amazing.
wonderful people, and it's been wonderful.
And so
Keeps
did you
me
have,
on my toes.
okay, and so tell us about the journey. Like, did you have people help you along the way to
I
give
did,
you
definitely,
insight? Uh-huh.
because I met a lot of people inside of code enforcement. So it was kind of when I left, they came with me.
Nice. Okay.
So I started working with Potts and Callahan
Oh,
and
okay.
Habitat for Humanity, living
Okay.
classrooms, and it just escalated from there. And it's
The connections are endless in the city. Because I
Endless.
work for the city now, and I work with
Endless.
HACC, so I know what
and it's like I meet people
Mhm.
and they know me and I don't know them,
Mhm.
and then I have customers that I've been on the phone with maybe 5 years and I've never met them
And how long have you been in business again?
since 2012.
Since 2012. So you're 10 years in.
10
a
years
decade
in.
in, almost in the business.
10 years in.
And so your son, he runs the business for you. Tell us more about his role within
He's
the
the
business.
owner of the business. He's the brawn. I'm
Okay.
the brain.
Okay, got it.
That's
Okay.
that's it in a nutshell,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I've had people teach him how to use equipment. He uses excavators. He uses any equipment you show him one time, he has it. So
Did
he
you
turns
have-
buildings down
Did
too.
you have economic resources to help you get started?
No finances to help you
All
get
by
started?
myself.
You did it all by yourself?
Yep. And as we went on, different people that I've met, we got a grant for SBE, small business. We got
Okay.
OSHA certification.
Understood.
Another company I work with paid for us to get scaffolding
Oh,
safety.
that's really
Potts and
nice.
Callahan. We
Uh-huh.
got scaffold safety. I'm in the MMCA with Sheila Dixon. She has helped me tremendously.
So it sounds like you need a lot of certificates and things.
We have all, yeah, you really
Permits.
don't, but we have, everything that comes, I take advantage of it.
Okay, understood.
I go to all networking events. COVID kind of slowed it down, but I never miss a
I
networking
So
hope
that's
they are
very
event.
nice.
listening to what you are saying,
Mm-hmm.
that there are opportunities that
They're
the
there.
Lord put before you,
Yes, he did.
and
He
you
has
have to
blessed
take
me.
advantage of them
Yes, yes.
as they show up. And so that's what mentoring is, to help the other person
And I
understand.
do that now. I have a lot of people that call me and want to shadow me and, mentor. Because if someone calls me and asks me, well, how'd you do this? I'm going to tell them. I don't have a problem with showing someone
Right.
if they want to do the same thing that I do, because it's enough work in Baltimore City for everybody. Like your job, Mr. McFadden called me and he asked me to take a look at the building. And I think I was in the middle of like everything. And then his sister called me. We used to work at the city,
Oh, wow.
Brenda. And she said, I have something for you to look at. And she gave me the address. I said, somebody already called me about that. I say, Mr. McFadden. She said, that's my brother. I was like, well, I didn't put that together, right? So he called. I called him back. I apologized. And we came, and your building was gone in 3 hours.
Oh my God, 3 hours?
He came through. He said, where's the building? I think somebody stole the building. It's gone already.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's been wonderful. We've been blessed, and right now I'm building a house for my son and my grandbaby and my daughter-in-law.
You're building a house? Did I
Yeah,
hear that
I
correctly?
promised my son when he was 8 that I was going to build him a house, and he's 35.
And it came to fruition. So even when he was 8, you were working at the housing authority.
I wasn't there then. I,
Oh.
I was only at housing authority for 4 years.
So when he was 8, you knew you were going to build him
I
a
said,
house.
Mommy's going to build you a house one day, and everything I used to tell him, he used to be like, okay, Mommy.
Right. And
you
you're
know
doing it.
and it was my plan, and like the perfect house came, and when I saw it, and I was like, this is it.
So if someone was listening, or like even for someone like myself, if I said, okay, I love what you do, what would be like some concrete, like maybe a ABC step or 1, 2, 3 that you would give someone who's listening right now who wants to get into the same business that you're into? They want to get into the contracting world, construction world. I'm sorry.
You pretty much have to have your mind set that it's something that you want to do, and just do it,
One, set your mind.
and just do it. It's a lot of resources, ask a lot of questions, and if you have to start baby steps, it'll discourage you. You can't let that happen.
So would they register
You
their
have to just
business
get.
first, or would you advise them to go to
I
like a
did.
website to do some reading?
You can go to a website, or you can call Paula at Demolition Man Contract.
Okay, of course. No, we're going to ask for all of your contact
Yeah,
information,
you're
right?
gonna need
Yeah,
that information, how to reach
I mean, you get your licensing, and then I have licensing to tear buildings down, your insurance, things like that,
Insurance is important.
and you put yourself out there. I get a lot of people Google demolition, and we're the first person that pops up.
Oh, wow.
So I get a lot of out of town customers, in town customers, and
Did you have to invest in the beginning? Did you have to invest in your marketing and promotion, or you kind of just put it out there,
I
trusted
did
God,
everything
and
myself.
just
I
did
just
it?
trust.
So,
Yeah, because a lot of people called me and wanted to sell me. We can give you a Google page, and we can do this. And I was like, I'm doing that already.
Right.
You
Okay.
know,
Understood.
my
Yeah.
I'm just and I actually didn't know that I was doing it, but I was actually marketing myself, and I didn't need to pay someone else to do it. I mean, it's a good idea, web page and all of that, but if it's something that you want to do, then Google everything. You can find everything on Google and promote yourself. And once I put the business on, I came up on like 4 websites that I didn't even know about.
Wow.
So I went on them and I set everything up. They were free websites,
Wow. Look at
right?
God. See,
Porch,
you.
Manta,
Yep.
and everybody's like, I got you on Manta. And I was like, what is that? So I looked, and we were there.
Oh, wow.
And then we're on Facebook, and every demo that I do is live on Facebook.
so
All of the
you're
work is
already
live.
giving steps by steps right now as to, first of all, the person has to be determined.
That's it.
Secondly,
Mhm.
they need to know how to get in what to do the next step, how to incorporate, how to get licensed,
Yep.
what job needs special license.
And see, my demolition woman contracting is more like a consulting. I do permit expediting. I do mentoring.
Okay.
I help people get permits, things like that, through Baltimore City, since I used to work there.
Okay.
So I pretty much, and sometimes I'm driving and I'll stop and I talk to people on the side of the road. I love to talk to people.
Me too. Right? Okay.
Because
you
if
never
you're
know.
doing anything that you're doing is a business,
Yeah.
anything.
True.
I talked to the little guys with the squeegees on Martin Luther King,
All the
because I used to
time.
take them cases of waters, and I say, when you're doing someone's window, give them a water or give them a peppermint. That's your business.
Nice.
You can
I
start a
like that
car wash
gesture.
after that. So it helps because you can do anything you want to do. I
I
just
love it,
believe
Miss
that
Paula.
fully.
Do good and good will follow you.
Blessings.
There you
Yeah,
go, Dr.
yeah. So
And
Jones.
you
I
don't
that's
let
love it.
that's
nobody
Yes.
stop your blessings.
that's right.
Understood.
That's right.
Because you can't beat God given.
You
That's what they
can't do
say.
it. You
Mm-mm.
can't.
So
You
so
can't.
so you going to give your information about how you can be contacted and how
Oh,
people can
definitely.
reach you.
You
And
know, I am so around Baltimore City, you can ask somebody and they'll tell you how to get me.
Right.
by the
Like
Okay.
way, let me throw in a
Right.
plug
every
for
day.
let me throw in a plug for us. She was on the recommendation list. There was a recommendation list of demolition people from the city. So she was recommended as one of the top places that we should contact by
Okay.
the city.
So
Oh,
you're a
did
city's
they?
preferred
Yeah, you
vendor.
were
That's a big
city.
deal.
Oh, well, I thank
My
them. I didn't
attorney,
know
Right.
that.
my
Okay.
attorney that I hope we get on the show soon,
Okay.
uh, Alice Pennyhughes,
Okay.
said that go to the list that the city recommends.
Oh, wow.
And because she
Oh, I
was,
didn't know that.
Well, hey,
Thank you,
something you learn
Baltimore
something new
City.
every day, right?
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay.
she is credible
Hmm.
and highly responsible.
Thank you very
So if
much.
you want to really get a good job done, if you want to see a good job that was done, just drive right on by here.
And we're going to do
I
a
like
parking
that.
lot there now, right?
Getting ready to do. Yeah, she threw in a surprise over here.
Oh, nice. Okay, the parking lot.
Yeah,
That's
we're going to
nice.
make you a parking lot
We
there.
are we are in dialogue with the soon as we're in dialogue with our attorney to make sure that we can officially do a parking lot there. So I don't want my attorney to think that I jumped the gun on her
Okay.
if she is listening.
All right. All right.
Smart thinking,
But
Dr. Jones.
Yes.
but she as
Smart
soon as
thinking.
she get the recommendation that coming from you, we'll send it to her and she will make
Yeah.
sure that everything is legal about putting it there.
I'll put in a
And
parking
so
lot.
we are anticipating that this is going to be done expeditiously.
Yes, it will.
This sounds exciting.
It'll be
And
nice.
really quick, because I know we're ready to go to break in a
Yes,
minute, but
yes, yes.
could you, before you give us your information, of course, we want you to double, like give your email address, website, and phone number so that
Okay.
listeners get ready, get your pen and paper ready, get your phones out, because she's going to be getting ready to give that information. But could you just briefly maybe give us a synopsis or maybe just talk about any future projects you have coming up? Yeah, I heard you mention that you're building a house for your son. Any
Mhm.
other future projects that you would mention that if someone's listening, like, oh, well, what else is she doing on a daily, or what else is she having in the
So I
works?
have a project. Actually, I have to go to Delaware to tear
Traveling?
down
Okay.
3 buildings and make a parking lot for Our Town Motors here in Baltimore City.
Nice. So
They're
you're
one of my
licensed to work in
customers.
Baltimore, I mean, Maryland and in Delaware, so you
Hmm.
can work in different states.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we
that's
go to
awesome.
different states. Most of the time, Baltimore City is the only one that wants a license.
Oh,
So
wow.
I go to I'll go to a different state, check out everything, what their requirements are,
Mhm.
permit offices, get everything, meet everybody there to set up everything.
Okay.
We just did a building in Washington D.C. We finished last week.
Oh, nice.
I have something down on Eden Street that's falling. So we need to do that, make a lot there.
Okay.
And then I just put in a proposal for the WPN scrapyard in Curtis Bay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Big work.
that's
Yeah.
actually a friend of mine. I actually helped him open that in like I think 2010 when I
Mhm.
met him in the permits office. So he's doing very, very well.
So
That's
the point,
awesome.
the
So he
point we
wants a
want to
building
make
down.
is that you can be productive, have a greater income, do things in a legal fashion, and make more money legally than you can make
Exactly.
illegal. That's
There
what
you
we want
go.
to take to the
Because
community. We
everything's
want to
a
bring these
business.
young people in and let
Mhm.
them know that they can earn more legally than they can earn illegal. So we want
Yes.
to, that's what the purpose of this program.
Awesome sauce. So,
Oh.
you can give your math really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us have your phone number and your email address and your website.
Demolition Man Contracting Parkville, Maryland. Phone number 443-680-1770. And the email address is demolitionman700@yahoo.com. You can Google us, Facebook Live. We have a page also. And I'm Paula. I also have a Facebook page. Paula Richardson.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And
You're
so
very welcome.
we will
Thanks
be
for
right back
inviting
with,
me.
oh no, we're so happy to have you, Miss Paula. We appreciate your time today. I mean, and again, it's Paula Richardson, and her phone number is 443-680-1770. And you can also email her at demolitionman, DEMOLITIONMAN 700@yahoo.com. And we'll be right back.
There is a time.
Yeah. Oh, there's a time. There's a place. We want to take you there. Is that a
no,
oh,
and
what is
time
it?
to make a change.
Time to make a change. That's what we're going to. I'm like, which one is it? Time to make a change. We'll be right back after
Time
this
to make a
song.
change.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jones and Miss Paula. You were awesome.
Days are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven above. Take it for tea, it's simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yep, yeah. Here we go. We are the people who can do it. Oh, yeah. It's time to make the change. We are your people. Yo, Mom, kick it for me one time. What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth. We got scared up and fine, walking through the night. We're the people, we can do it if we try. I know we can do it. Somebody ask me, why do we have to go through it? It's just a test of our faith. For a living day to day. We don't know where, we don't know when. But it's coming from again. It's time about that time. Oh, time to make the change. We are the people who can do it. It's time. It's about that time, y'all. Time to make the change. We are the people who can do it.
Back. Thank you so much for listening. And you are, just in case you don't know what show you're listening to, you are listening to There Is a Place. And we want to take, you are listening to 106.1 Praise FM, RadioOne station. And I am the co-host of the show, Jamie Chris. And we also are here with our host, Dr. Jones. And we have an amazing guest. We just got finished listening to Miss Paula Richardson, who owns the Demolition Man and Demolition Woman business. And I hope you guys enjoyed her and got a chance to listen to her story and how she started her business. But again, we mentioned in the beginning of the show, this is Women's History Month. This is a big deal. And so in honor of Women's History Month, we wanted to have a guest that was very influential, not only in our city, but throughout the Christian world and Congress. And so we would like our next guest, could you just introduce yourself and tell our listeners who you are? You're my president, but I would like you to introduce yourself just because they don't know who you are. So please introduce yourself and give us your title and tell us what you do for the convention and for the Women's Auxiliary. So I'll let you take that.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I am so honored,
Thank you.
Jamie and to Pastor Jones, to be here this morning. My name is LaVon Ellis. I am a member of Faith Baptist Church. My pastor is Reverend Dr. Gregory Maddox.
Nice.
And I am also the president during this tenure of the Women's Auxiliary of the United Baptist Missionary Convention of Maryland,
Okay.
where Dr. Mason serves as the president.
Awesome.
And we are just grateful this morning to have this opportunity
Yeah.
during the Women's Month to be
Yes.
with you.
We're grateful to have you. Thank you. I'm glad you said everything. I wanted you to get it out correctly because I
Okay.
wanted to make sure that was a
Okay.
lot. So I'm so happy.
And she is not only statewide, but nationwide
Hello.
with the
Let's be
National
clear.
Baptist Convention.
Yes.
She
Yes.
is nationwide. So we know the nation
Thank
is
you.
taking note all over the nation as she
Praise
talk
God.
about the
Yes.
one of the leading states in the National Baptist
Leading
Convention,
states.
the
Yes.
state of Maryland.
The state of Maryland is one of the leading states.
That's awesome. And we had President Mason on what a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Oh,
And so it's
wow.
awesome to have you to come
Oh,
in
what
for
a
Women's
blessing.
History Month, and this is
Thank
good. So we're off to a
you.
good start this year. We got some big people
Yes.
on here. So tell us, so Dr. Jones, what do you think we should talk about? Let's talk about your role right now. So as the president of the Women's Auxiliary, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my role as the president, the objective of the
Yes, your
Women's
objective.
Auxiliary um, is to promote home and farm mission worldwide in
Okay.
Christian education among women in the state of Maryland, and to cooperate with other bodies, not just the bodies here, doing similar work as we do in the state, country, and world, to unify the missionary societies and circles of all organizations through Christian fellowship.
Christian.
Basically, that is our responsibility.
You are the president of
And I am the president of the Women's
the
Auxiliary.
Women's Auxiliary.
As I
No, she said the
stated,
Women's
the
Auxiliary.
women's.
Without the women, there will be no church.
Oh,
That's
my,
right.
Reverend
Without the
Jones.
women,
Thank
excuse me,
you.
men, I don't want to
I don't know
don't
if they
step
would
on
all
any
agree
toes, but
with that, but
we know it is the women that
Yes.
gives us so instrumental support
yes,
in the church and in the state convention and the
Yes,
national Baptist
absolutely. We
convention.
know that's what
Yes.
the Lord began with Adam, but he had to give him a helpmeet.
Yes.
So we serve as the helpmeets
Yes,
within
and
the worship
and
houses.
and we know the women in the state of Maryland have always been one of the major source
Yes,
of
thank you,
making
Reverend Jones.
sure that ministries are effective and done
Yes, yes.
in the state.
Absolutely. And so
Yes.
you're the president for 4 years, and you're 1 year in, right?
We are almost finishing up with our first year.
Okay.
And we're very grateful. Our annual session
Mhm.
will be coming up in May, the week of the 15th, which will be held at Perkins Square Baptist Church.
Nice. Okay.
And that will be ending of our first year
Nice.
as we go into the month of July, beginning to start the second year
And I
together.
should know that, right?
You should know that.
Yes, I
Yes,
should know
you
that, but I
should.
want our listeners to know.
Oh.
So okay, and that's we're going to have you go back to recap to
Mhm.
talk about that week,
Mhm.
but we also know that there's some exciting things. Dr.
Oh,
Jones
my.
mentioned that this week, what do we have coming
Yes.
up, right?
Oh my, there are so
Yes.
many activities. And as I stated
That's another
before,
powerful organization that we have at the
yes,
Congress, right?
yes, the Congress
Congress
of
of
Christian Education.
Yes.
Our president of the Congress of Christian Education happens to be Sister Gloria Irving.
Yes.
And
okay.
we are so
Gloria.
blessed
Shout out
that
to Miss
we are
Gloria.
from the same church.
All right.
So the Lord has really blessed the Faith Baptist Church.
Absolutely.
That we have leaders that are serving alongside. Our pastor is even the chairperson of the
Nice.
trust.
Oh, so wait a minute.
board
Faith is doing some big work
of the
in the
United
convention.
Baptist Missionary
Yes.
Convention.
Uh-huh.
And I am believing that it is certainly God ordained for such
Absolutely.
a time as this.
Mhm.
Coming up will be our Churchwide Institute.
Yay.
Dean Garrett is our dean.
Okay.
Of course, you know we have Reverend Sister Ruby Cofield.
Oh, yeah,
All
I saw
of
her
those
name in the lineup.
persons that work with the Congress,
Mhm.
and that begins this Monday. It
Nice.
begins at 6 p.m. with our encounter, who is the pastor-elect, Reverend Kevin, I believe Reverend Kevin James. And
Oh,
he
nice.
is the pastor-elect of the Whitestone Baptist Church.
Okay.
They are in celebration now for his celebration.
Okay.
Our encounter will begin at 6 p.m. We are having services on March the 7th, the 10th, the 14th, and the 17th.
So all next week.
All next week, only on Monday and Thursday. It's
Monday and
only
Thursday.
2 times a week.
Okay.
And the following week, it will be Monday and Thursday.
Okay, so it's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Uh-huh,
Yes,
okay.
it is. And they will be having various classes. We will have our pastors and ministers.
Okay.
And I'm so blessed to sit beside the lecturer, Dr. Jones,
Oh,
who
Dr.
will be
Jones on the
lecturing
lineup
our
too? He didn't mention
pastors,
that.
our pastors and our ministers.
Okay.
We will have a missionary class, in our mission, which is our main field that we work with. A lot of things are being different now. This is 2022. Years ago, we would go to the foreign nations, but now the times are a little different. We have so much mission and masses that we have to reach right here.
No, I
Right here in
agree.
our homeland. So we're going to be favored with new instruction coming through understanding Christian world mission.
Okay.
And our instructors will be Minister Marilyn Adamson and
Oh, nice.
Minister Tia Taylor
I'm
will be
familiar.
bringing us in that class is for our missionaries only. We will also have a minister wives class.
Oh, nice.
We have several classes for women on depression. So many. I don't want to leave
Much
any out.
needed.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, if you want to register, you may register under the United Baptist Missionary Convention of Maryland. If
Okay.
you are not associated with a church, then use Concord as a basis. You may call the Concord Baptist Church,
Yes, you
and they
can.
will give you information on how you can register and become a part of this Zoom study hour with the United Baptist Missionary
Okay.
Convention.
So you just said something key. So this is all virtual.
This is all
Everything is
virtual this
virtual.
year.
Okay.
Generally, we are all in person. Thousands of people is usually at the Western High
I was going to ask, is
School.
this the one that's at Western High
Yes,
School
but
every
because
year?
of COVID, this year again, it will be held Zoom. And as I said, you can use Concord and Pastor Jones as a basis. If you are not affiliated with a church, you may call the Concord Baptist Church, and they will give you information on how to register.
Oh, that
It's
sounds
going to
The
be
great.
an
number is
awesome.
443-695-8993.
Say
Oh,
that
I'm
again,
sorry.
Pastor Jones.
Excuse me, that's my direct number. Let me give you this.
Right. So if you
410.
got it that
Pastor
time,
Jones.
everyone.
410-367.
Yes.
1117. That's
Yes.
410-367.
Yes.
1117.
Yes.
Perfect.
And that's our church-wide institute, which is a time of study through our Christian Education Department of the United Baptist Missionary Convention. After
Great.
that, just dealing with the Women's Auxiliary as we're trying to empower the women of Maryland
Mhm.
and women everywhere. The Lord gave us the vision when we came in of transformed women, maximizing, maximizing, maximizing their service in the Lord. And it's taken from Romans 12, 1 and 2.
Okay.
And
Always good to have
I'm not
scripture.
going to go all in that, but it tells you about transforming yourselves, taking off that fleshly body that holds us back from being what all God wants us to be,
That's the hard part.
and to renew ourselves.
Uh-huh.
So this year, the Lord brought growth to the Women's Auxiliary. I have to share, we have such powerful women in our Women's Auxiliary,
We do.
former presidents, that I almost feel out of place in following such women as Dr. Cora Crawley,
Yes. Absolutely.
Lady Martise Warren, Sister Barbara Booth,
Yes.
Sister Lillian
Barbara Booth, shout
Wright.
out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then we have Dr. Brenda Henderson.
Absolutely. Amazing women.
Oh, just amazing women. And
Mhm.
these are women, not that we are that far in age, but I watched coming up and work beside.
So
And what
did
a
I.
privilege
Yeah.
and an honor that was.
And I think Miss Millerton was.
And Miss Militant, who is a former president, who's not with us, but oh my God,
And
we
was a
don't
member
even want
of
to.
Concord.
And was a member of Concord.
Dr. Jones,
Bessie
remember that.
Mason, Sister Johnson from City Temple. Oh, so many of fine
Absolutely.
women and leaders that we were just so privileged to sit under. But the unique thing which I am just excited about what God has done.
You should be
Jamie
excited.
is a part of that ministry, and it is called Sisters Serving Sisters. And these are our younger women.
Yeah.
And the chairperson is Sister Jariva
Shout out to Sister
Abel.
Abel.
Oh, and they have a wonderful service that is coming up on March the 25th at 6:30. And it will be held at the Transforming Life Baptist Church, where Reverend David Biggers is the pastor there. The title of it is Getting a Night of Spiritual Intimacy. And in parentheses, it's talking about us unrobing ourselves spiritually.
Yes.
Other words, becoming naked with Christ.
Yes.
Becoming naked with
Transparent.
Christ. We have to be
everything.
transparent.
Yeah.
And for some of us in the society today who are immature Christians, they can't understand certain things where the Lord is trying to take us. But we are so grateful for you all as young women that's leading us into where we need to go in the year of 2022.
It's exciting work.
So come out. There's no fee. Oh my God, they're going to have some powerful speakers. I don't want to name them. I want them to be a surprise to you. If you look at your Facebook, you can see what the advertisement
And I'll run
is.
down the flyer. I'll get all the information. I'll run it down
Yes.
again for everyone so
Thank
that you
you,
don't miss it. Of
Jamie.
course I will.
But
Jariva
you
will get me
need to
that
be there
information.
early because
Yeah.
it is going to be a powerful night of praise.
And we plan to get into his presence early. So please
Yes.
do
Your
make your
basic
way.
theme is transforming.
No, the theme for that
No, I
night,
mean that one.
the general theme is transformed women.
Yeah, and you
Transformed
mentioned
women
scripture.
maximizing
Yeah,
God's potential
yeah,
in our lives.
and the scripture said, "Be ye
Transformed by the renewing of your mind.
It's a transformation that
Starts
takes
in the
place
mind.
That starts
mind.
in the mind. And if it's not in your
And
mind,
the way that what have to
yes,
happen is you got to get the word in there.
you got to get the
Okay.
word
If you
in.
don't get the word in there,
Gotta
the
get
mind
the
may
word
transform
in.
into anything.
But you guys got to
That's
listen. That
right.
was important though, Dr. Jones. Both of you guys are
Yes.
doing something that is not
Mentoring.
done often.
Mentoring.
But she also,
Yes.
when she was talking about the strategy that they're using, it's a mentoring strategy that they're using to
Yes.
mentor young women
Yes.
and lead them
Absolutely.
into
Yes.
principles by which will sustain
Absolutely.
them in
Absolutely.
whatever situation that they find themselves in. That's what they
Yes.
don't really know. Some think that there's difficult moments
Mhm.
that
No,
they can't
absolutely.
handle, and they have
Yes.
they go berserk, they
Oh, yes.
do all kind of crazy things.
Yes.
But what they're saying, we're going to teach you principles that will
Principles of the
sustain
word of
you,
God.
no matter
Yes.
how big the problem is. You'll still be in the feeling of joyfulness. See,
Amen.
when you're in
That's
this
it.
spirit, no circumstances or no condition or nobody can take your joy.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
so no matter
That's
how
right.
bad they think that how much you're suffering,
Yes.
they amazing you because you come forth with joyfulness.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you are empowered by the word of God. Because we have found as women of God, we've all been there. You know, when you're young, you are worried about being accepted. You really don't know where you are. So you're trying to find a place. When you get 60 and above, you're kind of like, you don't care. You're kind of like you just don't care. If you like me, you like me. And if you don't, you don't.
And I'm going to
But
like
what-
you anyway.
I'm going to love you because the word of God say,
Amen.
you
Okay.
got to love me.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
love
have
you
to like
anyway.
me, but I've got to love you.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway, and that's that
Yes.
power.
Yes.
And soon as you
Absolutely.
get that power,
Yes.
you have elevated yourself against the effects of the world.
Enemies of the world.
Because he
Yes.
said you can love those that even hate you and
Absolutely.
despitefully use you and do
Yes.
all kind of evil stuff against you. It won't affect your inner
That
feeling
heart.
and your love and your care.
Yes. Yes.
You even would help those that hate you. You even do
Yes.
good to those
And
that
love
are trying
'em.
to take advantage of you and use you.
Yes,
You still would
Pastor
be
Jones.
nice to them.
Yes.
And that's the power that
Oh, he's
they trying to
preaching now. He's
transmit.
gonna
right.
have
And
me
that's important for
shouting in a
Women's
minute.
History Month.
Yes, it
How
is.
women become great. Like that's important. And I like
Absolutely.
that you guys are giving, you're not only telling us what to do, but you're telling us if we do this, what we will get
What
and what the
results?
results we will get. And that's important.
Absolutely.
That's what we're missing, like as young people.
You
Like people
got
tell
to.
us to do this or do that, but you guys are telling us if we do this,
Yes.
this is what the result will be, and this is what God will bless us with, or this is how God will
Yes.
transform us. So I think that's important. I
It's
mean, it's
very important.
amazing
And
work.
it's important for the women of our age, 70 and above, to
Oh,
be
get out of here.
able to see.
Right. I was going to say, I don't believe her.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes. To be able to see
Yes.
that what we have tried to do, the Lord is blessing us to see these young women
Yeah.
come into tuition and showing us that when it comes time for us to leave this place, it's going to be all right. And
Yeah.
you will be able to carry the word of God, the mission in your lives, and spread it on down from generation to generation, that this great convention will stand.
Mhm.
And we have played a part in making this world a better place.
Absolutely. And
for
you're falling
Jesus.
right into
Yes.
what we are trying to influence our listeners. Like you guys are
Yes.
mentoring us. Like you guys are mentoring us,
Absolutely.
and we're able to learn and do things. And you guys are giving us an
Yes.
opportunity, because it's one thing to mentor, but if we don't get the practice and you guys don't put us in the
Absolutely.
fire, we won't know how to handle the furnace.
I
You know.
That's
So that's
true.
a big deal. And I hear you. So people ask me all the time, like, what is the woman's auxiliary? Like, what is a missionary? Like, what do you do? Like, what is a mission? Could you just give maybe our listeners, like people all
Well, a missionary, and let me say personally to me,
yes, what does it
is
mean to you?
one
Uh-huh.
that is helping not only the needing, helping anyone that needs help,
Okay.
whether it's in mentorship,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in alcoholism, whether it's needing clothes,
Mm-hmm.
needing food, needing spiritual advice. You are that person that says, Lord, I'll go. Here am I, send me. Take, for instance, in a world today, you know, down. And as we were brought up in church, you had to wear a certain attire.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some that will come in or you will encounter that perhaps may not smell good, may not
Mm-hmm.
look good.
Mm-hmm.
You are the person to say, I'm going to step out of myself to
Mm-hmm.
see, is there anything I can do to help you? And it doesn't always involve a ministry. Sometimes it involves personal giving. You
Yeah.
are that one that regardless of what anyone else does,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be the person that say, Lord, I'll go. Lord, I'll do it. Lord, I'll give. Lord, I'll help this mother with her children, etc. and etc. Missionaries are a strong armor bearer in the church because we must keep the church alive with helping to
Okay.
bring people in. As you go out into the mission field, often that will be a way to lead people to come to Christ because
Okay.
they'll say, well, she didn't have to do that for me. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
have to give me that food basket. I'm
Right.
going to go to Concord. I'm going to go to Faith. I'm going to go to Mount Moriah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Whitestone because these people helped me in my community.
Yes.
So all of that is an aid to helping people.
And,
Right.
Do you have to add? I want you to add to that, Dr. Jones. I
one
know
of the
you're ready.
power
Yeah.
of the missionary is that not only are they giving services to the needed and those who
Yes.
need physical help,
Yes.
but there's a major service that they're providing to those who may have all the financial things they have, but they need some inner strength. They need some
Yes.
spiritual uplifting. They need
Yes.
something that will bring joy and peace in their lives.
Absolutely.
See, money and richness and wealth does not bring peace.
That's right.
A lot of
Pastor.
times it brings frustration and
Yes.
disaster and worration and all kind of stuff.
Yes.
But in, regardless of the situation that you are in, that's what Paul said.
Mhm.
Regardless of the
What did
situation,
Paul say? Mhm.
regardless of the
Yeah.
situation, you can have the joy of Christ and peace. That means whether
Okay.
you're rich or whether
Mhm.
you're poor, or whether you have a plenty or whether you have nothing. The missionary brings that into that person's life.
Okay.
And you have a lot of people who have a plenty need to have missionaries in their life.
Absolutely.
Understood.
And that leads us to March the 26th,
There we go.
which is the next morning after the 25th. We will be at the Central Baptist Church. And that activity is called Fashion Share mission, where we bring people in from the community. We give them a service. We give them clothes that are needed, and we give them a snack.
That's nice. And
That
what
is
date
the
is that on
very
again?
Saturday morning, March the 26th.
Saturday morning,
March the 25th, we're going to be with Sister Serving Sisters.
March
And that very
25th.
next morning,
Yay.
we're going to be out in the field over at Central Baptist Church, aiding the people in the community through worship and meeting their needs.
That sounds great.
Which activity is that?
That is called,
No, I don't mean that one. Which activity is that where you all have those gowns and y'all march and those pretty dresses around through the?
It's
oh,
about
you're
Easter
talking about our Easter extravaganza.
extravaganza.
Yes.
Extravaganza. That lifting the spirit of
Yes,
the wealthy
Pastor
and the
Jones.
rich women who wear
Oh,
these
my
fantastic
goodness.
dresses.
Are
Well,
we
let
sold
me
out?
tell you,
Is that even sold
it's
out
not
yet?
sold out.
Not
So
quite yet.
you listen.
So I had to
you
mention that.
Listen,
I'm glad you
Pastor,
did, Dr.
You know
Jones.
that
We
used
almost
to be
forgot.
called the Easter Monday luncheon.
Right. Mhm.
Well, there is so much going on with Dr. Gwen Young and Lady Daphne Forster, who are the chair and co-chairs, that those younger minister wives, along with all of our minister wives, brought back the idea of calling it extravaganza. You don't want to miss.
You don't want to miss
And
it.
it's going to be held at the Valley Mansion this year
Ooh, I'm
on
excited.
April the 18th.
Yes.
The donation is only $55.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lunch. Oh, it's going to be vendors.
Yes.
It's going to be so many things going on
Yeah.
under God that when you leave that place, you're going to be filled, better filled.
And they
That's
have
awesome.
booths there with
All
all
kind of
exhibits
jewelry,
and
clothes,
jewelry and-
exhibits.
I
Everything
told
you
you this
need.
is a rich
Everything.
activity.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I like the way you
Pastor
put that,
Jones.
Dr. Jones.
And we are
Yes.
promoting it at Concord on our
Yes.
Facebook program, on
Yes,
all of our entities and things that we are promoting right now.
absolutely.
And
And the
President
churches
Ellison-
are sponsoring Queens. So the
Yes.
church that brings the most tables, their lady. And let me tell you what's so significant. Formerly, when the minister wives would have an activity, it basically meant promoting the minister wife.
Mhm.
But this year, this ministry said it could be any woman in your church. Does not have to be a minister wife.
Oh,
Any
wow.
woman that you choose to send and back her as queen, we are going to honor her.
That's
So
awesome.
that is going to be awesome.
Thank
But
you
I don't
so
want
much.
you to forget Fashion Share. And after Fashion Share, we are having what you call Christian Awareness Weekend. That's going to be at the Perkins Square Baptist Church on April the 1st. That night is all a worship service.
Mhm.
But that next morning on the 2nd, beginning at 8 a.m., women being transformed,
Okay.
releasing the baggages that we walk around with. You know, we walk around with some baggage.
Yes, we do.
We walk around high. We come in church with our hats on and all glittered up, but we come in here depressed, crying, sick, don't have an answer, not loving our husbands, not loving our children because of circumstances. God commands us to
Understood.
praise. You can't praise if you don't release the baggage.
Yeah.
Understood. And,
Yes.
and so if someone wanted to follow up or reach out to the Women's Auxiliary, or they just want to know how they become a member, what would you suggest to them to look us up? Could they can go to Concord, of course, and be directed to us, and then also
We have a Women's Auxiliary Zoom. You help me out,
yes,
Jamie.
okay, and that's what
Facebook page.
Okay, we'll list
So,
it on we'll connect it on
yes,
Concord's page, and if
yes.
they call Concord, they can get that
Absolutely.
information, right?
Because we
Also,
meet
they will
once a
see
month.
that information
Yes.
on our page.
That's
Yes.
right. It will be visible to everyone. And we
Absolutely.
thank you so
Oh,
much,
yes.
President Ellis, for coming on. We're going to have you back
Oh.
again because you have more
Yeah,
content.
because
So
it's so
we'll
much
have you
stuff
pop
that's
back in
going
next
on
month,
as
and
we're trying.
maybe with Jareba, we'll have you come on and
Oh,
recap.
that would
But
be wonderful.
we just like to shout out all the women of the Women's Auxiliary,
Oh,
Stacey
yes.
Ben, who keeps us together, keeps all our technology
you.
tight. Shout out to her and to all of the women and anyone else. I know you have a committee of women that you work with.
It's too many,
It's too many
to
of them.
name, but I
Right.
love them all. I just thank you, Pastor
Shout out to
Jones
my mommy,
and Sister
Aunt Sarah.
Jamie
Yay.
Johnson.
Let me shout out to some women who are not in auxiliary.
Seems like everyone is running the truth. We're the people, we can do it if we try.